Yeah, we got Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Muslim Salikhov. This is unfortunately just a battle of like washed up prospects in the welterweight division right now. Both of these guys were highly touted. When they first made it into the UFC, is the next big things. Obviously, Salikhov is a Dagestani guy, famously trained at the same little boarding school as Zabit Magomed Sharipov, the corner of the Five Winds or whatever little Kung Fu Sanda Wushu school they were both at together, which is obviously why his striking style is very similar to Zabit's with the flashy kicks. Those like traditional Chinese martial arts style kicks they likes to throw. Not much boxing, but it's serviceable when it is there. It's just primarily all different types of kicks, low kicks, body kicks, high kicks, wheel kicks, etc. That's what he primarily specializes in. Does have serviceable grappling, obviously, as a Dagestani, just not to the extent of Zabit. Ponzinibbio was really just kind of like the next like welterweight KO artist people were kind of hoping would hit. Very inactive throughout his career, had a lot of setbacks related to medical issues, frequent staph infections, things of that nature kept Ponzinibbio out of action. Could be argued maybe that's why his career hasn't really went well. But I mean, he's 37, Salikhov's 40. These guys both have a lot of miles. Once again, you could fight at these ages if you didn't have so many miles. Like there are genetic freaks. There are, your John Jones, your Yoel Romero's, et cetera, your Randy Couture's of the world. But these guys, I don't believe are that. Ponzinibbio's coming off a vicious KO loss to Kevin Holland last April. Beat Alex Morano before that, lost to Michel Pereira, lost to Jeff Neal, so he's 1-3 in his last 4. Muslim Salikhov's not doing much better, but I'm going to look up his record, and what I'm getting at is this is a very tough fight. This is easily probably my most difficult fight, probably on the whole entire card to actually predict. Lost to Randy Brown, Salikhov did, KO'd, so both coming off vicious KO losses. Salikhov's is more recent, though, February of this year, so Ponzinibbio's had a little bit more time to recover. Lost to Dalby by unanimous decision, beat Filau, lost to Li Jingling by TKO, so 1-3 in his last 4 as well. So similar, both of these guys. So Ponzinibbio minus 185, Salikhov plus 154. I'm just going to play it safe because I don't know how else to take it with this, with both guys being so close, so similar, both coming off vicious losses, especially Salikhov's being much more recent. I feel like he's coming back a little bit too fast. Ponzinibbio at least gave himself a little bit over a year to recover from that. Hopefully also in that time frame, maybe he's worked on some skills. He's leveled himself up. He's figured some things out. 37 with the mileage he has and all the injuries and illnesses and everything might be a little too late in the welterweight division to kind of have a resurgence, but at least he can, fight out the remainder of his contract, maybe get another extension and kind of like try to make a run or at least a shot at top 15, top 10. I'll give the advantage to him based off his prior resume, what he's been able to achieve before knocking out Neil Magny in 2018, beating Mike Perry, a tough guy to beat, Gunnar Nelson KO, Nordine Taleb, Zach Cummings, Court McGee, a lot of guys. He's been in the UFC for a deceptively long time, just like Drew Dober, both since 2013. Like I said, inactivity just robbed Ponzinibbio of a lot of prime time to compete and everything because 2018 was when his career went downhill after the Magny thing, and he had a very long layoff. All of 2019 off, all of 2020 off, didn't fight again until 2021 when he lost to Lee, beat Miguel Beza. And so his last 6 fights since his heavy period of inactivity started after 2018, last 6 fights, he is 2-4, excuse me. 2 wins, 4 losses. So it's tough, but I'm just going to lean Ponzinibbio. I think Vegas has it right. Minus 185 with Salikhov is a pretty decent favorite. I could see why the power that Ponzinibbio has when he is able to bring it, when he is on it. He is very powerful. He is a decent striker. I don't think grappling is going to play a role in this, even though Salikhov would be considered the better grappler. He never really, to my knowledge, uses that offensive grappling. It's mainly like a threat to kind of get you thinking about it, and he sets up everything else with the strikes, or he uses it more defensively. So I think it's going to be a striking match, and I'm just going to stay with Ponzinibbio. I'm just going to take the money line. What do you think?
I think, when you pop a water balloon in slow motion and the rubber goes away real fast, but then you still see the shape of the water. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's what Randy Brown did to Muslim Salikhov. Like, he hit that man, and his soul was still there. Like, his soul was still standing, but his body just went onto the canvas. He was out, man. I was on Salikhov. I thought that he was going to be I thought I was really sharp, and I really read that one out right. And I think you took Randy Brown in that one, and you were absolutely right. I did not see the same Salikhov that I thought that he was. His, trademark kicks, they're not landing, and they're not as fast as they used to be. He's really slowed down. Santiago, he's got the low hand, so he's got the chance of getting knocked out, but he's younger, he's lighter on his feet. I think he's got the better gas tank than Salikhov. He could eat some big shots too. When I was watching his tape, some of the hits he was taking, and not even being phased, shocked me, because that guy was eating some big hits. He's tough. He's a little hesitant for me. I wish he wouldn't look for those windows and pull his punches so much. Sometimes I wish he'd just throw, and you just got to start racking up volume too. It accumulates over the fight. But I'm with you too. Ponzinibbio, I think, is probably one of my favorite picks. I like it. This one, I feel like I was pretty confident in. So I hope that you and me are right.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listening and cash out, that's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot, and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top, hey. Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome, welcome to our podcast, Better in Green.